pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the October 2nd, 2017 meeting? Were there any questions or concerns? I will entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make that for you.
Second?
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor to approve the October 2nd, 2017 minutes. Brian?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Motion carried, minutes approved.
Next on the agenda is the alley vacation request for the east-west alley between 215 and 223 South Main Street, with the properties owned by Randy Peters. Andy, do you want to give us a quick run through?
If you look at the screen here, the alley we're talking about is this one right here. Sits directly south of the subway station. Mr. Peters is requesting that this alley be vacated so he can do some parking lot improvements. I only received 2 phone calls on this. One was from Dalton Reilly, who owns property across the street. He had no objections. And the second was from Vicki Grimm, representing the land bank, and she had no objections to this. At this time, I will turn it over to Mr. Peters, and he can give a brief overview of what he's talking about here.
If you could step up the podium too, the microphone, like to pick that up, please. Thank you.
Pick it up or just sit down?
No,
right
right there.
Okay, well, thank you for meeting today and considering my proposal. I would like to expand. I'd like to move my business, actually. I'm currently across the street from McDonald's. I'm an optometrist, and it's Peters Family Eye Care that I wish to move from my current location to the 2 vacancies in that building that Andy is at right now. My wife Diane is sitting here, and has the furthest east office. Then you guys probably remember the MMA gym, and then maybe a salon that used to be in those 2 spots. And then there's Subway all the way to the west, obviously. What I would like to do is to move into those 2 vacancies in the middle, but in order to do that, in order to have enough room, I would bring the front of my office out to the south. So it would be that 30-foot section exactly right there. But you can see, in order to do that, I would lose parking, and I would have a hard time having enough parking for the project. So that was the original reason why I wanted to consider vacating that alley, so that I could bring my parking all the way down. And as you may know, I just recently bought this piece of property south where the dog groomers are. And I think we all understand that to be a bit of an eyesore. And my intention is to make this kind of a 2-phase project. The first being to build my office and the associated parking lot with that, which would extend into the alley south, which is what I'm asking the city to vacate. Then once that's done, the title, I had to buy this property south because the title doesn't come free until May of 19. So once that comes free, and I've been assured that there's no reason why it wouldn't, then I will go into phase 2, which is to fix that property. I personally think it's an eyesore. I don't really want that next to my office. So the idea would be to improve that. And I think whether or not the dog groomer office stays there, I'm not sure what the future holds. We'll have a year-to-year lease with him. But the whole idea is to, we love Brian. We've raised our kids, and I'm looking forward to coming a little bit closer to downtown. And we supported the chamber and Brian downtown. And And I want to continue to do that. And I think that that piece of property, my goal is to make it a destination for eye care. And I plan on making sure that the property that I control around it is at the same quality that I'm going to do my eye care business. So that is going to change. It's not going to be part of the initial plan, meaning the dog groomer property, but that will be phase 2 as soon as the title is cleared in May of 19. My plan is to then take care of that. It's a very dangerous ledge. I talked to the tenant, the dog groomer, a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know, maybe you're aware of this, but I think he's called, there's been several people actually drive off that ledge trying to get out of that parking lot. And so that, it just needs to be addressed, and I'm going to address it. It needs to be taken care of. So I know that I don't want to get off point here, so in order to kind of put together the phases and what I want to do, the very first step, I can't really move there at all and consider doing this unless I have the space to increase the parking to the south. So that's really the nuts and bolts of it.
And I will add, Dr. Peters has talked with our office, Andrew and myself substantially here, and has given us some conceptual drawings there, what he wanted to do, and I think it'll improve the traffic flow there a little bit. I know back in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, when traffic wasn't as bad on Main Street, you know, there was multiple points of egress up and down there, and now we're trying to limit those and get them reduced down to as few as possible. So by vacating this alley, he can do one common entrance through there, and since he's going to be in control of all the properties, and I think it'll improve traffic a little bit there. And you know, secondly, there is not an alley on the west side of Main Street, even though there is a driveway that goes through there. Just so everyone knows, that is private property. It is not an alley that runs through there. So there's no real need for continuity, and I don't know who in their right mind would want to cross all of Main Street anyways and go straight through. We did some history, some research on this. When the alley was acquired, it was dedicated when the parking lot on the east side there was actually dedicated, and at that point in time it was for additional egress. But we're still maintaining the north-south alley through there. And of course, there's obviously access to from Walnut Street and Maple Street. So our office has looked at it quite substantially, and I don't see any downfall of vacating this alley. As far as utilities, I believe there is only an overhead electric line that's in there. So if we do vacate this, I would urge the Planning Commission to keep a utility easement through there for that existing line. Obviously, if Dr. Peters wants to do something different with structures in there, you know, he can work with us on relocating that easement. But since there is an existing line through there, I would like to ask that we maintain that easement through there, which we typically do when we vacate a street or an alley. We typically maintain a utility easement through there. So, but all in all, we have no issues as far as the engineer's office with granting this.
You're still gonna have entrance off of Main Street?
Correct.
There's still gonna be one, and you're not gonna close anything off from the alley behind?
No.
The parking lot?
No.
So basically, it's still the same
Right,
area?
the city just doesn't own it.
Yeah, the city just doesn't. own it.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
As far as the power line, isn't that an automatic exclusion from any rights? They have, the power company has the rights.
Well, this is just a service line for lights, I believe, right, Nate?
I believe so. It's just
Okay.
I think it's
They're automatically excluded from this.
Well, we're grandfathered in, but we're still gonna
Yeah.
ask for a utility easement through there, right? But there's no cable, no sewer, no water,
Yeah.
there's no other utilities in there, it's just solely an overhead service for lighting.
Are there any other questions that I can answer?
I personally think it's a great project.
I just want to
If it ends up
run through these
nice.
pictures. Granted, these are conceptual and not binding. We will have to do site plan development when that time comes, but he got some conceptual drawings. Just if you wanted to take a look at these real quick. Maybe.
It's Monday.
Snowstorm.
Typical, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
not real sure what's going on there,
Very
Andrew.
similar to the first one.
There we go. which, me personally, I'm in definite favor of this, because I dread pulling in the subway when I go
I
there.
agree.
It's a tight squeeze no
That's
matter what you do.
dangerous.
Yeah.
So that would be the building addition, correct?
Correct, exactly.
Do you have a time frame, Dr. Peters, that you're planning on starting this, 12 to 24 months, or completion, or just out of curiosity, not binding, I just.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely. This was, obviously, I had to get by this step, but, so, and I've already talked, I've already worked with the architect, but that'll probably be about 2 to 3 months in order to get state approval for a permit to build. And then I'm thinking 4 to 6 months for the build out.
Okay,
So my hope is to have my doors open up there sometime in the first quarter of next year.
terrific, okay.
All right, is there any other comments or?
Well, is there more, can you go back to that first conceptual, I guess just for clarification? That one, it'd be the grass and trees to the south or the right.
Mhm.
Is that where the alley is now?
No,
No.
Are you gonna go past?
The alley actually, see the grass in the middle there, right there?
That's about the
That's
alley.
where the alley's at.
So you are gonna take that building down and make it part of the parking lot?
Potentially.
Where the dog-
Potentially, yeah. I mean, that's going to depend on the dog groomer.
Right.
I'm going to improve the property. That whole parking lot is going to come out. Whether he stays there or not, we're going to create more parking there. And I just have to, I mean, I may decide to improve his building because he wants a little more space. But the ledge will be gone and it'll be one big area, whether the building stays or not, I'm not positive yet.
Right, and then the sole drive entrance will be somewhere between the two right now. It won't be where the alley is and won't be where it currently is, but, so he'll end up replacing
Exactly.
all the concrete and the sidewalk in that general area as well through there as part of that project, kind of
So that
spread
would be
things out.
seasons then.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 seasons, correct.
Correct, that is correct. Right.
Yeah, that gives you a little better view there.
Okay.
Is there anybody from the audience that would like to comment? And if you would, please come to the podium.
I guess Nate, do you have anything else on behalf of the utilities? I don't want to single you out there.
No. Glad to see water, so ready to move it.
Fire chief, you have anything to add on this? Okay.
All right. If there are no more comments or concerns, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve it,
Second.
pending council's.
Carrie, did you second?
I did.
Motion on the floor to recommend approval to council. Jerry?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Motion carried. We will take this to council the first meeting in May.
Yep.
How's the date?
Where's my calendar?
7th.
May 7th.
May 7th.
That was loud.
It is.
These flags. Thank
All right, I think that's all we had for today.
I don't think we have any pending business for future meetings, do we, at this point in time?
No.
Okay.
No, I got nothing right now.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Motion to adjourn, Brian?
Yep.
Nikki?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
you. Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.